Alright, so today we're trying a game called Spirit Island. Spirit Island is actually a board game. It's a very well-made board game, which is a cooperative experience. So basically, normally it involves um, a bunch of people who are playing as spirits on an island, and they're trying to defend an island from invaders. And there is a it is essentially a card game, but it also is a board game as well, where you're playing cards which have powers. You're moving tokens on the board around, and you're trying to destroy or push off invaders off your island who are coming to invade. So recently, um, maybe about 2 days ago from when I'm recording this, um, Spirit Island digital, which is the board game, the digital version of the board game, they've come out with their expansion, which is Branch and Claw, which introduces a bunch of different things to the board game. Now, I've been playing Spirit Island for maybe about a year or year and a half now, and I find it a very enjoyable experience. So when they made the digital version, it was um, kind of a no-brainer for me to get. So we're going to try the digital version of the expansion. Um, so I'll kind of explain things as I go through the game. Um, Basically, you have, we'll start with a new game. Yeah, oh man, okay. So the good thing about this game is it is cooperative, but you also can play as a solo player as well. Um, because it's just myself, I'm going to play as one person. You can play, I guess, two people as one person, controlling two spirits, but I'll I'll play as one. Okay, so I want to try the new spirits that they've introduced into the game. Um, so from what I know, one is Sharp Fangs Behind the Leaves, and the other is Keeper of the Wilds. So let me go and go in. Because we're just trying it, I'm going to try it not really any difficulty at all. We're just going to play the base level of Branch and Claw. Okay, so these are actually all the spirits up here that you can play. And there is a scroll bar now because they've introduced this guy and this guy, Keeper of the Forbidden Wilds and Sharp Fangs Behind the Leaves. Okay, as you can see, you have different board types. Okay, because we're playing as a single player, we only get one board. So the one I'm going to try is Sharp Fang behind the Leaves. From what my understanding, Sharp Fangs is a character who uses these tokens called beasts, which are new in the Branch and Claw expansion. Beasts will basically a lot of cards combo with beasts. Um, so the special rule behind this character is ally of the beasts, your presence, which are your presence on the board, move with beasts. Whenever a beast moves from one of your lands to another land, you may move your presence along with it and call forth predators. During each spirit phase, you may replace one of your presence with one beast. The replaced presence leaves the game. It was not destroyed, so things which return destroyed presence cannot bring it back. Okay, so basically, this character has very good synergy with beasts. If you turn over, this is the lore behind the card. Lore behind the character, sorry. So during setup, one of your presence and one beast on your starting board in the highest number jungle. Put one presence in a land of your choice with beasts anywhere on the island. Okay, so here it says all about beasts and jungles can be very fast at the gate, but doesn't have the late game power that some spirits do, and is likely to have some difficulty with blighted islands. So blight is another factor, which is one of our lose conditions. If you get blighted too much, so if the invaders do too much damage to you, essentially, you will lose the game. Ranging Hunt is a critical innate ability. Particularly in the early game, it simultaneously gives beast mobility and permits picking off the stray explorer or town on most turns. And the complexity of the spirit is moderate, with a high level of fear, control, and offense, and more weaker on utility and defense. Okay. All right. So I think I'm gonna start with this board because I feel this board has quite a lot of presence in terms of jungles. The jungles terrain is in the middle of everything and can get to other places very quickly. What we're doing with here is we're playing with no adversity, no scenario. We will play with branch and claw. I'll play with a blight card, but I will do the undos. Okay, we'll try not to use the undos too much, but because we're playing on base difficulty, I will take all of the reduced difficulty options off. Okay, so we're gonna be playing Sharp Fangs Behind the Leaves on this particular board. I think this board is good because it has consistent range between all of the land types. Yeah, so we'll play this one. And because we're playing Branch and Claw, we won't play any of these. So Branch and Claw and events. We won't play with any Blight. Oh, actually, yeah, so we'll play with Blight cards and we won't need these. Okay, so mountains build. So from what I know, I think the best thing to do with this character is to add beasts to a lot of land so that we can add a lot more presence onto each of these lands. So probably what we want to do is we want to get more cards so we can play these cheaper cards, and also to try and get to maybe the Reclaim 1. Let me just get a power card, see what we get. Okay, so a lot of these cards push towns. You may push 1 invader, 2 fear. Okay, so I'm going to play that. I'm going to get that one. I think what we'll do is play these two guys, and we'll start gathering and pushing beasts around the board. We can always add to jungles, so we want to get them out of here and move them into different areas. One thing that we can do, because this is a slow phase card, is gather this into here and then destroy things if we need to destroy them. Or fear heavily. So actually, probably the other thing to do is maybe do. Oh, you can't do that one. So one thing we could also do is move the beasts down into here and then push them out into this section. Into this one land. That might be better. So we could gather beasts into this land. Okay. Okay, so then now we'll push these guys into here. Okay. So we could get animal presence into here and then play all 3 cards. Okay. So I think I'll move this guy down here. We're going to gain energy and presence and voracious growth. Defend 2. So right now I'm looking at this one and this one. This one has blight removal. This one's not, I don't think it's too useful at the moment for us. So I think we'll take one of these 2. This one does 2 damage and has the moon. So essentially we can kill a town or remove blight, and it's got the plant, whereas this one defends 2, but it is a fast action. There's going to be a Ravage here, so I'll let that one Ravage. We need to stop a build here and here. We have a sacred site there, so I think we'll take this one. Okay, we'll definitely play this one. So we'll remove a town that grows here, and also get that one as well. And we'll add a beast into this land. Okay. Wait, what just happened? Rest. Okay, so healthy island for the rest of this turn. Cities and towns have 1 extra health with tight knit communities. If it was blighted island, then it would 1 blight would spread to a land to an adjacent to a land with blight. Okay, spirits may prevent this by destroying 2 of the presents from each board to be protected. Each beast destroys 1 beast. Okay, and coming of age on each board, add 1 Dahan to a coastal land with Dahan. Okay, so we'll click on this one to add a Dahan there. So we have now the wetland explorers. We were going to add a beast here, so I will add 1 beast, and we will just. Oh no, 2 damage. Okay. Alright, so instead I'm going to destroy this guy so we don't have to deal with that one. Okay. Okay. So we can actually block this by doing fire in the sky on this land. So that's not too big of a deal. Invaders do not build in target land this turn. 1 fear. So this is quite good for stopping builds if we get Dahan into that land. So we have Dahan in here at the moment. We can stop the build here and destroy some land. But this one allows us to remove blight. We could actually get 2 fear off of this card. So I think I'll take that one instead. And we want to add more beasts. So let's add okay. So we'll play all 3 of these cards. So we want to do that there. We can push 1 town. Okay, so I'll just push this guy down here. I don't think that matters. Because there will still be a build there. Okay, so on each board add a town to a land with invaders. On each board add one disease to a sand or a mountain with the most. Okay. And each spirit with at least 2 amongst its lands gains 2. Okay. So, so that was quite good. Probably just destroy this to start the build. Okay, so we've got another fear card generated. We want to get another fear card as well. We definitely want to reclaim all our cards here and get the 3 energy. Defend for 4. So there's a Ravage going to be happening here. This has a lot of stuff in it at the moment. Target spirit gathers 1 into the land, 1 damage per. Okay. So probably the best things to do is to either try and move these guys out of here, maybe move them into a different land, so our presence doesn't get destroyed, or we can try and four damage. So we could stop this and this. Okay, so let's do that. We want to do these 2 cards. Maybe this one. Okay, so we can pay 3 energy, do this, this, and this. This generates a lot of fear. The building on mountains, so they're going to build here. We can't get there. No, so we'll do this instead. So we're going to strife this, defend for 4, and maybe push one of these guys into here. Okay, so finish. Do that. Defend this for 4, and okay, move one of these inland. Okay, Grimtoll. So this is disease. On each board, choose a land with disease in that land. Do 2 damage to invaders and 2 damage to thing during a ravage in each land. 1. Oh, okay. Oh, that's great. Okay, so that's really good. So we'll do 2 damage here. Each player chooses a different land. So Dahan Enheartened. Each player chooses a different land. Gather up to 2 Dahan, then 1 damage per Dahan. Okay, so we can gather 2 Dahan into here. Skip the next normal build. The build card remains in place. Okay. So we have 2 builds. So we have no build here, no build here. We have 2 builds here. Okay, so we can stop the build here. We can also okay. So we do get to reclaim 1. We can gain a power card. No, so I don't think we need any more power cards right now. I'm just going to gain the energy. And we can so we looks like we're definitely going to use this card, which means this card is worth 2 fear, and we can push this guy into here maybe, or here. Let's actually do that. So we'll reclaim this card and we'll push it down. So these are good. And we'll want to deal 2 damage here to get rid of this guy. Okay, a terrible drought. So Years of Little Rain is our next event. A terrible drought parches the island. You may let the plants die and the land wither. For each board, discard the top minor power. If it lacks water, add 1 drought. I'll add 1 blight. Oh shit. Okay. Act to ease the drought. Cost 4 energy per player. Aided by water. Each spirit may add 1 presence to one of the lands of Dahan. Each beast deals 2 damage. Remove any tokens that destroys towns or cities. And during Ravage in each land, 1 defense per Ravage. Okay, so I don't actually have any energy or enough energy to do that. I think I'll just do this. I think the card did have water. Okay, so kill this guy. Do damage here. Okay, each player removes 1 explorer or town from a land with 2 or fewer invaders. Okay, so let's get rid of that town. Okay, so there's nothing here, nothing here. But they built in the sands. And we want to deal 2 damage into here. Or remove a blight. I think we want to remove a blight. So we'll have 3. Okay. Next thing. So, okay, so now we're going to ravage in these lands, but they're all clean. I think our next thing we could try is we could try and get a lot of energy and a power card that gets a major. So we try pull off a major. We will get one of these cards. I think that's probably the best thing we want to do. So let's gain plant. It's actually also good as well. Gain plant, do 1 damage, but we have nothing to really do damage to at the moment. So let's do that. Let's gain power card. Defend for 20. Wow, okay, so I haven't seen these 3 cards before. This one's in the base game, but these are in the expansion. So we have the major powers. So major powers are very, very powerful cards, but they cost a lot more. And usually major powers have an additional side effect as well if you can achieve it. So here we've got for each strife or blight in target land, 1 fear and 2 damage. If this destroys any invaders in the target land, add a beast. Okay, and then if you can achieve the secondary, which is 4 moon and 2 fire, you can add a strife up to 3 adjacent lands. So that's a really strong card, but it's a slow card. This one here is a fast power from up 2 away where you have Sacred Sight. You can add Blight and add 2 beasts, then gather up to 2 beasts. Then each beast does 1 fear, 2 damage. Okay, let me look at the board. So we could add a Blight here. Gather up to 2 beasts. So what we could do is just end the game with this card right now. Flood and Fire. Wow. So range in 2 lands. Four damage in each target land. Range must be measured from the same presence. Cost 7. Okay, so we can go for the safer bet. If I add a blight here, this will cause another blight to cascade into this land, but we could kill this, I think. So let's try that. Let's take that one. And let's get rid of this card. And we want to gain energy. Okay, so we want to take this card, and this card. Okay, so we get. So I think this ends the game. Let's do it. So we do this. Cascade into here. And we want to get that beast. And this presence. And that's it. That's the end of the game. Okay, that was a really good run. Okay, all the invaders' settlements have been destroyed and the morale is not strong enough to weather this loss. They depart the island for their faraway land. Let's have a look. Okay, difficulty 26. So we got the difficulty 10 plus 12 points per 2 points per invader card, and then 1 for each Dahan, but -3 per blight on the land.